First question, we can start with Mr. Chris, since you are closest to me. Why are you running for mayor of Arlington, and why now?
Thank you. So let me start by saying thank you to everybody out here. My name is Chris Dobson, and I am running for mayor of Arlington. This is my third time. And the main problem I'm seeing in Arlington is a lack of civic engagement. Our voter turnout right now in early voting is about 1.5% to 2% of the population. Of the registered voters, that's about 3 or 4%, but we just do not have enough voices in our system for us to accurately gauge what we should be doing. I would love to just list off everything I wanted to do and be right about it, but we have to listen to the residents first before we can even put plans in place. And so that's why my campaign, for the most part, is directed at the way the city operates itself, about changing the culture at City Hall and giving more ownership to citizens. That way they're engaged and have that responsibility to be involved. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank the, the COB, am I saying it right? Collection of Brothers, did I get it right? I am a former UTA counselor. My name is Ruby Faye Woolridge, and I've lived in Arlington for 35 years. I raised my 2 sons here. My oldest son lost his life as a result of serving in the United States Army, but he was a Bronze Star winner and he was a patriot, so I am a patriot. And I am committed to making sure that all families in Arlington have the highest quality of life possible. And I'm concerned. I moved here back in 1984, along with my husband and my 2 sons, because Arlington was on the move. Arlington had lots of high-paying jobs. Arlington had quality public schools. Arlington was the place to be. And I'm not really sure that that's what's going on right now. So I'm down to 30 seconds. I know my time's running out, but I'll share more with you about who Ruby Faye Woolridge is and why she's running and why she's your best hope to be the next mayor of Arlington, Texas.
Okay.
I wanted to follow up, Chris,
yes,
on your statement about civic engagement. I was at a candidate forum in Dallas for the candidates for mayor in Dallas. It got brought up that I think about 5 or 6% of Dallas population votes, which is appalling. I'm hearing 1%, 2%, 3%, very appalling. I've voted in the last about 3 years or so, but I was once one of those residents who didn't vote. And so my question to you that I pose to you is, how do we get more people to show up to events like this to engage and to vote in elections that are so critical?
You know, I think you make an excellent point, and I was actually going to ask that question to the city council candidates, but we ran out of time, because that is probably the biggest problem that we're having in my mind. I know taxes hit everybody hard, but we have to first decide to be together in this city before we're going to find a consensus to move forward. I would suggest that the incumbents in all of these cities don't like high turnout because it threatens their job. If I am elected, I'll do as much as I can, have events down at the Levitt Pavilion or at some of the rec centers that host voting sites to try to amplify that message and get more people out there. I think anything we can do to draw people in to that civic engagement is so important. From even meeting at the PTA level at elementaries across the city with all of the residents. We have to find a way to get where they are. Thank you.
Well, our city could help us by using all the emails that they have from those of us that are city residents and announcing that there is an election going on. City Hall has not even announced that there is an election going on, and we're in to what? We've only got 3 more days. We're what? We've got today until 4. Well, and we've got 3 minutes today. And then we have on Monday and Tuesday. And I'm still waiting for City Hall to announce to the citizens by way of email that we're having a city council and mayor's election. So I think that there is a concerted effort to just keep it amongst the group of those insiders that do what they do and elect the same people over and over again. So that's the first thing I do, and then I go to Spectrum and all the other cable entities that are in our city and ask them to give some free time in between the sports and the news and all the other shows and say, look, there's an election going on. That's what you call public service announcements. It wouldn't cost a thing.
Oh, they all love to take pictures with a shovel in their hand when they open up a new bridge or a new building, but nothing about voting.
And Ms. Ruby, to follow up on the statements you made about quality of life, what is your insights or plans to improve the quality of life of residents here?
I'm so glad you asked that. I'm a member of the City Park Board, and yesterday I was one of those people that Chris is talking about. I was doing a ribbon cutting for Eden Road Park, and I did it gladly because Arlington is now larger than St. Louis or New Orleans, as well as Pittsburgh. And our citizens are not being properly served even when it comes to parks. And we, as a city, lost out to Amazon because we did not have schools that are strong enough, and we did not have public transportation. As a retired school counselor and as a teacher, formerly from Workman Junior High, and also a corporate manager, and a person who worked to bring in billions of dollars for student loans for our students here at UTA, I know that we can do better. If we coordinate and collaborate with UTA as well as our city, we could establish an economic development corporation whose business it would be just to find high quality jobs and bring them in. But we've got to address public transportation, which is one of my priorities. I've run out of time. Okay.
You know, different people have different standards for quality of life. For some people, it's having food at home at night. And for some people, it's, you know, having enough money for vacations. And I think we need to work with those needs and make sure we fulfill those before we move on to the wants. I am astounded the way we tax hundredaires to give money to billionaires for stadiums. It's just the complete wrong direction for our city to be operating in. Instead, when we start talking about how we make neighborhoods safer, how we make schools better, it goes back to getting that buy-in from the population, that caring, that intent, that real, quality of life stuff where it is literally your own sacrifice of engagement that improves the area around you in your neighborhood. Thank you.